Whew. Super hot day today. What's up, Team KBA, One Tech Traveler here in Seoul, South Korea. Get my morning coffee. Today's video, we've got a huge package from Peak Design that just arrived. The Peak Design cuff in sage green and midnight blue. Their thinnest camera straps, the Leash in matching sage green and midnight blue. The Capture Clip V3 in silver. Their Peak Design Everyday Sling 6L in midnight blue. And of course, the Peak Design travel tripod. Now, like always, you can find my full written thoughts on the Peak Design's gear featured today on my website. So check it out at onetechtraveler.com. And if you think any of these are right for you or you want to explore the rest of Peak Design's range, then you can support the channel by using the links down below. I'll put them in the pinned comments and in the video description where you can go check them out. Let's get started. We're going to kick it off with arguably the most exciting for me to get my hands on. This is the Peak Design travel tripod. They've got two versions. This is the aluminium and the carbon fiber, and it just so happens to be the very first tripod that they've launched, considering they've got a much more expanded everyday carry sling and smaller EDC. Ooh, so clean. Gonna rip this shrink wrapping straight off. Packaging for the travel tripod really did a great job. Shiny Peak Design logo on the front. Got a few nice graphics. In its collapsed form, it measures 38.2 centimeters. You've also got its highest and lowest form, so just over 14 centimeters in the low profile mode. 153 centimeters, including the compact ball head at its tallest. 1.56 kilograms. And its maximum payload for your camera rig setup is 9.1 kilograms. Peak Design is climate neutral certified. They're part of the 1% for the planet, and they are B Corp certified, which means their supply chain, their logistics, everything is operating with partners that are sustainable, using the most environmental conscious type of processes, and they're also supporting sustainable projects as part of the 1% for the planet. Great to see Peak Design supporting those projects while producing these kind of gear. Elastic lid for that way. This thing is super slim, also really nice quality too. Carry handle, and this material, nice and durable. Definitely going to give you some protection, and when you're out in the elements, fairly snug. This is the travel tripod. Ooh. Toolkit just to tighten things down, and I think there's an area that we can place it in. Might have come out, and that slots just in there. Peak Design have engineered the travel tripod to maintain that slim profile in its closed form. Like the case, it's really compact. The tolerance and the gaps are just very minimal. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 locks that you can pull out. And actually, these are really smooth. Peak Design's plates you can attach to your camera for the quick release. The center ball head has a slider, so you can move between lock and unlock. Pull down this tab and you can pull out the camera and the attached plates. Locking it back in, it's going to stop us from pulling down that tab and securing your camera in place. The slim profile also makes it really forgiving to use in very tight external pockets, better chance of staying inside, and you don't have lots of gaps that you tend to find between the legs that just makes it very bulky. A little bit windy today, but it's good test for this. So travel tripod, these locking rings, very smooth to open. Opening them all at once allows me to extend it freely, so the setup time is fairly minimal. Unlocking towards the right allows free movement of this ball head. This is still fairly smooth. You can probably get some decent panning rotations, and you have free movement across the entire ball head. It's not just a certain area you find in other tripods. At its most extended height, there's about 153 centimeters. I'm 183 centimeters, so it's actually a good height as maximum for me. Now, if I want to use the mobile mount, this acts as a nice counterweight. So if I pull that down and twist, there's a magnetic hold for the hook, but it will also release the mobile mount. This is the mobile mount, really handy. Peak Design logo, but it can extend for large sizes. So snug into the latch, which means it's not going to bend or fold when it's in. And you got the full height, and you can shoot this using your smartphone as well, which is really slick. We've got these little tabs that we can push down. Pushing it allows us to go into that low profile mode, and you can see it opens much wider. Pretty stiff, but you want that. We'll slide this in, lock it down, and there we go. What's also nice with the tripod feet, I can just twist it and switch between vertical and horizontal shooting, so telephoto is pretty neat. Makes a nice click so that you know you've exited low profile mode. Final batch. Nice and quick. Baller. So if I want the extra stable hold like I was trying to go handheld earlier, going to give me a bit more stability. Without the center column, more of a comfortable height for shooting. That is a travel tripod. There's still quite a lot of features in here, but we're going to move on to the next one, and I'll probably cover this in a separate video.
I want you still. I could put in all the work. I'll keep you from hurting. Baby, I'll always be here. Even in 100 years, I want you still.
We've got the Peak Design Everyday Sling. Ooh. Here we go. We've got it in that nice midnight weatherproof material, not that scratchy or noisy leather trim. Peak Design logo on the left side. The zip track, they are reverse and weather sealed, so this is going to completely keep your camera setup dry in the wet elements. Not much going on the back besides the carry handle that sits a little bit towards the rear section. And while this isn't detachable, you've got this pivot that allows the shoulder strap to move around and make it comfortable while sitting on your shoulders. Now this attachment point is where we can put the capture clip, which we'll do later on. We've also got another one on the other side. You probably can put 2 capture clips for shooting with multiple cameras on the fly, running gun on sets, attachment points, and that's for external carrying underneath like the travel tripod. Everything really solid, high quality, very robust. This is a 400D shell, and again, it's weatherproof. It's going to handle getting thrown out in the elements or when you're outdoors, getting a bit dirty. Everything is going to be nice and protected. Good cushion all round and very substantial, so I like that in a camera sling. Very smooth. Oh, I gotta do that again. Ooh, that is smooth. Like these ultra zips that they've rolled out to the packing cubes and stuff, again, reversed weather sealed. Normally at the corners they snag and it kind of becomes difficult to continue, but this is so smooth. Wow, one of the most satisfying zips. It makes a huge difference, especially for quick access type of sling carry. You want it to function as smooth as it looks and how it holds your camera setup. So again, zippers, really nice. The front side is quite compressed, but this is enough for like small drop-ins. You don't want to put bulky stuff in here, but fairly flat ones like camera batteries, memory card cases, portable hard drives, little cables, your phone even. The flex fold dividers, you got 2 of them included in the 6-liter. It opens quite nicely, stretchy on the side panels, so it's not going to fall out. It gives a bit of privacy, but also allows a nice wide access to really look inside. With Peak Design Everyday Sling 6L, gray liner, nice smooth zips again, and this is for all your extra smaller internal bits. we've got the included external straps, PD sticker. Nice. So inside here, we've got 4 open slots in the 4 camera batteries, memory cards. You can also put in your pen stylus for a tablet. And yes, the 6-liter version does come with a tablet divider section. It's only the 3-liter that doesn't. Deep look inside. 6L is great for those medium camera setups. And you can also stack with these flex fold dividers. If you've got smaller prime lenses or you want to stack additional accessories, drone setups, multiple bodies or lenses, you can really customize this. It rips off the front and the back, and here's a better look at those actual flex folds. Being the 2nd generation, they've really improved this a lot, so it should be a bit more durable, very sturdy. You got origami style folds. As long as these tabs are facing both ends of the sling, then this will hold it in place. And of course, towards the back, we can pull this, some slight magnet, and that gives us enough for a tablet. And this looks decent, probably an 11-inch iPad. I think the larger 10-liter will be better for an iPad Pro. I've got my iPad mini. Very easy because of its size. It's not that tall. And it sits underneath the magnet, so you can't even tell. If I open that up, really clean. So iPad mini comfortably passes. The external straps, midnight blue, detachable. We can clip that onto the bottom. And it makes a nice pop sound. Just like that. Very easy to put inside. So this is the bottom of the everyday sling. Tripod threads through easily. And cinch down, this is what it looks like with the travel tripod underneath. Now for extra hold, we can actually thread these straps through kind of like the handle piece, and we can slide it on the edges just like so. And by taking that extra step, it's just going to offer a lot more stability. So snap that in there, snap this one in, nice confirmation pop. And there you go. This is a fully secured tripod. This is not going anywhere. So that is a nice compatible kit. And of course, we've got the capture clip we'll be putting a little bit later on. I can fit my 7200 telephoto with my Sony FX30 body attached together. And if you're just rocking a telephoto, at least you can carry the entire setup without having to collapse it, because it does get pretty tight. I tend to have the tripod foot facing upwards, so it's not pressing against the bag. You can just rotate this ring if you need to, like batteries, memory cards, my SD card reader. You can still put all of the smaller essentials. My iPad mini was actually in the tablet section, so you can get away with that. With a bigger cage, however, you'll probably find it very difficult. It'll be really pressing outwards, whereas my FX30 is naked and hasn't got any additional camera caging attachments on it. So in that sense, this can all fit. Travel tripod and everyday sling 6L, pretty rad.
Even in 100 years, I want you still.
Alrighty, now we can finally move on to the smaller EDC pieces. We'll start off with the camera capture clip. This is the version that includes a quick release plate. You can get the base capture clip on its own. And here's a quick look at the back. And this is the camera clip in that beautiful silver. Ooh. This is the plate you'd put underneath your camera. Looks really nice in that silver. Of course, it comes in a standard matte finish black too. So if you prefer that, absolutely go for it. But silver-wise, looks really clean. The actual camera clip itself, very beautiful, a much more improved version of the camera clip versus V1 and V2. I believe this is V3. This is just smaller, lighter, stronger, maintaining that sort of minimal style type of carry across their range. This clips onto, say, the bag or your backpack strap. We can unclip, and this will slide under The more you unscrew it, the more depth it's going to give you for those thicker shoulder straps. Very grippy. Sits underneath the backpack shoulder strap or on your bag, and that's going to give it a firm hold and grip as you're hiking or moving around. And it gives you a bit more depth for those thicker padded shoulder straps. For the plate, we just slot in like so, unlocking, press it in, and it comes out from the top. It's not from the bottom, so you don't have to worry. Gives it extra hold and security that's not suddenly going to fall off. And the back plate is compatible in all directions. So whether you put it this way, or this way, it really doesn't matter. So nice four-way use of the quick release plate. And that's literally all there is to it. Inside the rest of the box, we've got a little pouch. And we get an Allen key for the quick release plate and an extra set of screws in case they go missing or accidentally fall out. Where you have a little gap here, this is the part that slides out. And you just want to loosen the other side so you have a bit more movement for it to thread through if the strap is really wide, but on Peak Design ones it's made for it, so you should find them very straightforward. You don't have to completely unscrew it. It will separate the pieces, but you can always screw it back in. There we go. Quick shooting workflow setup, everyday sling, travel tripod, and the capture clip. Get your camera and you can dock it here. And it just so happens I've got my Sony FX30. There we go. Now we've got that base plate on my FX30. So when I'm out shooting, I've got everything and I'm ready to shoot. So there you have it. That is the capture clip.
'Cause I want you still. I can't deny, won't even.
So that leads us on to the cuff and the leash that you see right here. We got the cuff and we got the leash. This is the front of the cuff. You can see this is the sage green. On the side, we get the cuff wrist strap itself. Very similar to the leash as well. On the side, we've got the thinnest camera sling strap. And it's got this little plate that sits on the bottom of your camera so that you can leash it onto that if you prefer how it sits in your body, laying down versus facing upwards. So first up, let's unbox both cuffs at the same time. This is what it looks opened up inside. And you couldn't really tell, but this is the leather, aluminium, metal piece, and that's what helps to cinch down. And this is that sage green, very beautiful. Same on the midnight blue, got that contrasting sort of leather look. This is the piece where the hook goes into, and this time, and if we press in there, this is what it looks like. Really nice hold. This bit is a plasticky build, and difference on here, that anodized aluminium, the metal has probably a black, could be a blue, not sure. And underneath, you can see that midnight blue. We also get another pouch. We get the additional loop, this additional piece, and this acts like as a cuff stop or loop fastener. So it doesn't spin on itself over time. When it's looped to your camera, it will stay in place and make sure it doesn't twist. Here we are. You can see the midnight blue and sage green on this side. I will say the leather piece is a lot longer and more than I expected. I wouldn't have minded just more of the visible midnight sage green, but it adds some extra comfort. The two colors of those metal pieces there. Going to attach this to my FX30. If you're just rocking the cuff on its own, then I tend to put it from the top down, and that would force the loop to come through underneath. That would just make it easier. So you can see there, and we can just loop that through on itself, and that gives you a nice hold just like that. I always do it on the handle side, so when you are holding, it of course makes sense for the strap. On the wrist, you can see that leather panel, but when it's cinched down against your wrist, you can see more of that sage green, which pops out nicely. So I like that. And that's just going to give you a nice safety, but if it falls, boom. So I'm gonna strap that. And that's got a nice hold. If I have it fairly loose and I'm holding the camera, that's all tethered. And if I accidentally drop it, at times I don't want to rock a shoulder strap, so the cuff is the perfect add-on. It gives it the extra security, and I can hold it without too much like straps getting in the way as I'm operating the camera. For such an expensive camera, these little bit of accessories can really save you in those situations. And if you do want to put it away, just detach the cuff. And there's also a magnetic feature on here where you can keep it wrapped. There's a little magnet square you can see here, and that will just allow you to keep a hold on the plastic itself. You can just about see it's holding it in place. It's a little bit loose on my wrists, and if I put it further, actually tighter fit, then it won't hold. But if I keep it fairly loose, it's fine. It would be nice if they made that magnetic spot larger, so for thicker or thinner wrists, then it can still have a nice tighter hold, but at least it's got the magnet and kind of gets out of the way.
If it ain't you, babe, don't wake up eyes, look in my eyes, tell me you feel the same, don't act like this ain't a good time, I'll be in a lifetime, it's been like.
Now the leash is pretty similar, the concept's the same with the way that it clips onto the camera, but of course this is a shoulder strap in itself. And this sage green really looks slick. I love it. Alongside the midnight blue, this one also really clean. So matching midnight blue. We've also got the sage green. Which one is your favorite? Let me know down in the comments below. And these naturally will hold heavier cameras, but of course bear in mind if you're looking for that additional support, then you're better off going for the slide lights and the thickest slide, like if you're rocking telephotos. This is the slide lights V1, just much wider than the leash. Just using these little tips at the ends, thin, slim profile, doesn't draw too much attention or kind of get in the way. And if I attach one more onto my FX30, clip that through, and now you can see I've got one on that side, one on this side, and this side. Quickly attach my 7200 G Master 2 lens, which is a bulky thing. This is just over 1 kilogram, and there you have it. This small leash for my camera setup. Again, if you prefer something low profile, just going to shoot casually and don't necessarily need all of that additional support. And it's not in the way as much as I found using the slide light. These metal pieces at shorter lengths, this kind of rubs against the camera. You can see how low profile I can shoot, but still have that safety. So there you have it, Team KBA. Those were the Everyday Sling 6 liter, the Capture Clip V3, the travel tripod, the leash, and of course, the cuff. Really complete premium camera gear equipment to really set up your workflow and help you travel a lot more smarter and lighter. Of course, I'm going to be following this up with in-depth reviews once I've really tested, got mileage and better hands-on experience to see what I like about it, what could be improved, or maybe what doesn't work so well. But first impressions, really high quality, nice and durable, very lightweight and intuitive. Depending on your style of shooting, then these might be great companions for you. Don't forget to check out onetechtraveler.com to see my written thoughts on Peak Design's gear featured today. And of course, if you like what you saw in today's video or you want to see the rest of Peak Design's range, support the channel by using the links down below in pinned comments and the video description. That just about wraps it up, Team KBA. Thanks a lot for joining me. I'll see you in the next video. But until then, keep being awesome. Peace.
Mm. stay till the morning. Tell me you want it. You know I'll go on and on. Cause you're too important. I'm honest, too honest. Know if you touch me, I'm gone it. Just say the word and I'll give you all I can do.